What's up, guys? I have a video for you today, but here's the thing. I base a lot of my video ideas off of common questions I get in Twitch chat, Twitter, YouTube comments. That way I know that I'm answering something that's relevant to what you guys need, but sometimes I get a lot of questions that like I could answer in 1 to 2 minutes, and I can't make a whole video out of it. So today I'd like to start a new series on this channel that we do every couple months or so, where I ask an open-ended question on Twitter and I'll answer my favorites in a single video. Maybe we should, I don't know, add a hashtag to it or something, like hashtag Ask Harris. I don't know, leave a comment below what you think the hashtag should be. Good old hashtag. So let's do it. Episode number 1. But first, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Owned.tv. Owned.tv is a great place for starting streamers to pick up overlays, design, anything you need to get your stream looking beautiful right out of the gate. And on top of that, every single overlay package they have is completely modular. So if you and a bunch of your friends happen to pick the same overlay, like this Rodan one in particular, you don't have to worry about all your overlays looking exactly the same, because you can pick and choose what portions you want. Even things like the camera border have multiple different designs in them for you to personalize your own style. If you'd like to make the smart move, like many from the community have done, make sure you use the link in the description below to pick one up. That also supports this channel. Also use code ALPHA at checkout for 40% off. And by the way, if you end up enjoying this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell if you like it a lot. Just saying. Let's jump into it. All right, first question from Laura, who, by the way, fantastic pianist on Twitch. We always hear that we are at the beginning of live streaming, that it's going to explode despite Twitch's numbers going down and other platforms showing modest results. Do you think streaming will indeed explode, and will early adopters be in a good position? Here's my take on this. I think streaming is going to drastically change, either this year or next. For the last 5 to 10 years, there's been this exponential growth curve on Twitch as it's blown up in the gaming industry. However, the last year or so, I feel like it's pretty much saturated the gaming market. If you game, you're aware of live streams. And so right now I feel like it's just kind of tapered off, and it grows in conjunction with the gaming industry. But here's what I think is gonna happen, and I do think there will be an explosion, or at least a second wind of growth on whether it's Twitch or YouTube or any of these other platforms. As just chatting becomes more popular and people start to consciously realize that the whole draw of streaming isn't about crazy over-the-top entertainment, it's about connecting with an audience in a way that has never been possible before in content. I think what we're gonna see is a lot more mainstream celebrities start streaming. People like athletes, people like film and movie stars, people like, even just like YouTube celebrities. Over the last couple of years, we've just seen a huge amount of adoption of social media content by these kind of celebrities, people like Jimmy Fallon, Will Smith, as they recognize that they can supplement their content with small form content on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram. But over the next year or two, I think we're gonna see a lot of celebrities adopt live streaming as a way to connect with their audience in a way that they've just never been able to before. As for early adopters being in a good position, I think early adopters generally being at the top of the platform is always a good position to be in. The problem that you see is early adopters are usually the most reluctant to evolve with a platform, if that makes sense. Most of the early adopters on Twitch happen to get into streaming just because they liked playing video games, and they happened to build a community around it as Twitch grew. Most of these streamers didn't get into Twitch because they wanted to learn to make YouTube videos and social media, and now it turning into this massive thing that's more than just playing video games. So I think you're gonna see a lot of those channels dwindling down to just really tight-knit communities, but the ones who are willing to adjust, I think they're gonna do great. Who knows though, I could be 100% wrong about everything I just said, but I'm excited to see it either way. How do you combat fatigue of the ups and downs of growth? Oof. That's a hard-hitting one. First of all, let me get this on the table. That's something you're going to have to learn to deal with, because it's never gonna go away. That is just a constant in this industry. Fluctuations happen. Even the big streamers who have like 4,000 subs, and then 1 month they only get 2,000 subs. That sounds like a lot of subs, and it is, but that panic is going to set in, and you're gonna start to wonder, is this decrease going to continue? Is my career only gonna last another 6 months? And you never know. For me, the best way to remedy this is make sure that I always have a passion project that I'm excited about. If I'm doing the same thing every day and I have nothing that changes other than numbers, it's really easy to focus on that. But if I have something I'm excited about, something I'm looking forward to doing, something in the next couple months or so that I'm working on, just make sure your content always has some kind of purpose or a project you're passionate about, something that you can accomplish so that you can detach yourself from the numbers, and you can accomplish this thing regardless of what the numbers say. I think that's very, For me, at least, that's a very healthy way to do it. Like, just to give a personal example, I can't stop thinking about doing custom water loops right now. That's like my next big thing that I want to learn to do is custom PC water loops. I see it as like the artwork of the PC world, and I've been up until like 5 a.m. watching tutorials on how to do it for the last like 2 weeks. I'm excited. Next question. So this one has to do with the whole idea of starting a YouTube channel to help grow your Twitch channel. And the question is, should I start with YouTube videos or start with stream? And by the way, my answer is both. I think one is pretty much useless without the other. While your stream might feel kind of useless in a numbers sense, because in 2020, your stream is very unlikely to grow until you have some YouTube content that's actually caught on and is feeding your Twitch channel. And so therefore, you absolutely should prioritize your time towards YouTube content. Make sure you have enough time dedicated to putting out at least one video a week. Whatever time you have left over, make sure you leave time for like 1, maybe 2 streams a week. Not only will that practice help you get used to being in front of the camera, and you'll get to like polish up your stream, figure out your overlays, so that when the YouTube channel does take off, you have a good looking place for those people to come to. But I think more importantly, if I'm right, the whole reason you're making YouTube videos is so you can stream for a living. And I think if you're not streaming because you're making YouTube videos, you're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna forget the whole reason you did it to begin with. You're gonna start to hate it. And you can't do this job if you hate it. Getting those 1 to 2 streams in a week is gonna be the payoff that you need for the YouTube content or the Twitter or Instagram, whatever you're making, and you should give yourself that. Why not use Restream? Okay, let's talk about this one. I get this question 10 to 15 times a day, so let's put it to rest here. The whole argument for restreaming is the idea of putting yourself on more platforms to maximize your exposure, right? I've argued in the past that it hurts your brand more than it helps you, similar to the way that follow for follow kind of makes you look like you don't know what you're doing and you're just desperate for numbers. I think Restream has a similar effect. The thing is, neither of those arguments are in any way a big deal. In terms of the exposure side, we all know that there is 0 discoverability, 0 exposure by going live. And so multiplying 0 by 4, or however many platforms you're streaming to, still 0. It's still 0 discoverability. And as for hurting your brand, I don't think that it's as big a deal as follow for follow. Still think it's a bigger deal than the exposure. Not a big deal though. So here's my real issue with it. We're talking about a tool that either helps you by this much or hurts you by this much. So why do I get asked about something so inconsequential 10 to 15 times a day? It's because it's a shortcut. Growing on chat is insanely difficult. It's like trying to scale the front of a rocky, steep mountain, and it's overwhelming to look at. But then here's this tiny little voice over off to the side of the mountain. It's like, hey, don't worry about that mountain. Don't worry about learning to edit YouTube videos or learning to take good Instagram photos or any of the things that are required. Come walk this way. Look at this nice green pasture. Come over here. Just hit this Restream button. I'll take you to the top with a nice leisurely walk. Restream is a detour that distracts you from the hard work that is necessary. Guys, gamers are lazy. Trust me, I am one. And it takes every single ounce of self-discipline I have to sit here and make these videos rather than sit back here and play season 4 of Apex, which just launched today and I haven't played it yet, which is killing me, by the way. But there isn't a single streamer who has succeeded due to restreaming. Not a single one. Pretend restreaming doesn't exist, because it might as well not. And by the way, if any Restream devs are watching, I think you guys have made a really cool project and I'm really impressed with what you've done. It's great tech. I just think it's been implemented in a completely useless way. So if you wanna make something dope with it, hit me up, we'll talk. What is your Twitch and when do you stream? Oh, thanks for the question, Ninja, and that tweet that's totally real. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, by the way, link in the description below. Next one, is 30 too old to try and make it in the content creation industry? Absolutely not. I mean, if you're trying to compete with those baby blues and those jawlines, look at me, look, this hairline is not what it once was. And I have bags under my eyes from too many 24-hour streams. These are battle scars. They're going to happen. And I'm no longer doing anything to get those preteens swooning. Doesn't happen. But hundreds of 30-something and 40-something-year-old creators make it every year by taking what they've learned in life and turning it into content that has real value. Casey Neistat has openly talked about being an interesting looking dude, and the dude made it big in his 30s by creating content that inspired people. There's no deadline, just do something amazing. people will come. But yeah, that should be it for today. If you're looking for a community of people to talk about more of these kinds of questions, feel free to jump in the Discord. There are tens of thousands of people in there, all going through what you're going through. Go ahead and jump in, link to that in the description down below. I hope to see you in my Twitch chat, and as always, happy streaming.
Okay, he gives you a free exit. It's just better, dude.
I love.